Stocker Elementary School board presentation and school spotlight. Dr. Forsey.
All right, thank you, Madam President. Our third spotlight of the year, and I am very excited to have the Baldwin Stocker Bulldogs here with us. And we do a little check to make sure everybody can get on in the afternoon. And I'll tell you what, I think they were chomping at the bit, ready to go this afternoon to present. So I'm excited to have Baldwin Stocker here. And Dr. Brown, take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Forsey, and good evening, Madam President, members of the Arcadia Board of Education, as well as our at-home viewers. I am thrilled to join you this evening alongside our Baldwin Stocker staff and families to spotlight the magic that is Baldwin Stocker. Baldwin Stocker Elementary School is committed to kids, kindness, imagination, determination, and service. Whether in person or virtually, we pledge our steadfast resolve and commitment to the whole child. We strive to create a positive and personalized learning environment built on these four tenets. We are committed to fostering meaningful childhood experiences and learning adventures rooted in kindness and a cooperative spirit. We are committed to the power of imagination and its role in sparking our students on a life path of creativity, agency, and wonder. We are committed to creating opportunities for our students to develop a resilient and responsible sense of determination. And we are committed to being of service to others. After all, relationships are the cornerstone of our impactful journey into the hearts and minds of our students and families. We value relationships, making connections, and building partnerships as we engage in the learning journeys of our Arcadia students and families. We acknowledge and we hold the delicacy of our profession close to our hearts, and we hope that you will see, hear, and experience that kids are at the heart of all we aspire to achieve, create, nurture, and develop at Baldwin Stocker Elementary School. We are going to kick things off by shining a light on our commitment to kids by stepping back to summer 2020. Our dedicated Summer Bridge team will take it away now.
Hi, I'm Denise Landis, and I teach second grade at Baldwin Stocker, and I'm so excited to tell you about our Summer Bridge program, which began out of a concern for kids and families after the school closures. We felt there was a need to keep kids connected with each other and find a way to engage them with their future teachers and classmates during the summer. We wanted to relieve some of the anxieties that they had and help transition students into the next school year. Next slide, please. So how could we do this? After connecting with Karen Yunker, our principal, Kelsey Brown, and other like-minded teachers, the Baldwin Stocker Summer Bridge program was born. Our hope was that the 150 students and families who participated would, as Dr. Brown put it, reduce the distance between friendships and community while offering some learning adventures. But one of the most exciting parts of the program was the student involvement through grade level ambassadors. And here's a couple that I got to work with over the summer too. That's Stephen and Zoe. We had student ambassadors who would help plan, teach, and participate in the weekly activities. For example, our first theme was about getting to know your grade level. Students who had just completed their grade level were the ambassadors to the next incoming students. They prepared a talk about what it was like to be in that grade level, sharing secrets about how to be successful, and answered any questions the incoming students had. Ambassadors came to each weekly meeting and participated as an assistant or a co-teacher. It was very dynamic. Students, ambassadors, and teachers were real partners in learning and built connections on so many levels. And now Evelyn Lim will share some more about what our program was like.
Thank you, Denise. Hi, I'm Evelyn Lim, third grade teacher here at Baldwin Stocker. So like Denise said, this program was a way to maintain connections during a tough time. So during the 5 weeks of the program, we introduced weekly themes that included getting to know your grade level, ocean wonders, and full steam ahead. With the help of our ambassadors, we hosted these meetings that incorporated hands-on activities, games, and quizzes. Meetings helped develop relationships and created excitement for our virtual learners. Meetings were a great opportunity to acknowledge the realities of the pandemic by making meaningful and relevant connections for our students. We practiced hand washing procedures and used visual demonstrations to show 6 feet. Other extension activities for the week, like videos, virtual field trips, and home lessons, were linked into Bitmoji classrooms posted onto our Google Classrooms. Using Google Classroom, teachers, ambassadors, and Kelsey were able to communicate with students and their families through open dialogue and postings, making their interactions fun and engaging for all. Beyond the 5 weeks, teachers continued to post activities into their classroom, and some even continued their regular meetings, which really helped our little Baldwin Stocker community stay connected into the 2021 academic school year.
In the spirit of our commitment to kindness, please welcome Frances Sambalay, our treasured school counselor.
Good evening. My name is Frances Sambalay, and I have the honor of serving as Baldwin Stocker's school counselor. At Baldwin Stocker, we are committed to fostering meaningful childhood experiences and learning adventures rooted in kindness. Promoting and teaching kindness emphasizes the importance on the whole child and his or her social emotional well-being. Now, more than ever, kindness is needed. Kindness is a smile, a helping hand, an apology. No act of kindness is too big or too small. The students of Baldwin Stocker know what kindness is. When asked to explain kindness, a third grader shared her kindness experience. Please show the video on what kindness is.
It was my first day at Baldwin Stocker when I was in first grade. And then I was very sad because no one played with me at recess. But then someone got up and asked if they wanted to play with me. And then I felt very happy.
Almost 2 years later, this student still remembers this one act of kindness. Kindness is everywhere, but sometimes we all need reminders and opportunities to practice it. Through the Second Step curriculum, students learn about feelings and compassion. In a typical school day, role plays on school scenarios take place in the classroom. Now, through distance learning, students have an opportunity to role play scenarios at home. Please enjoy this video of first graders practicing ways to be kind at home.
Look how frustrated he is. He is so frustrated, Roger, because he cannot build his Lego. Roger, can you show us can you come closer to the camera? Okay, so Roger, you're a kind brother. What are you going to do to show care and compassion towards your brother who is so frustrated because he cannot build his Lego?
I will ask Leo, can I help you?
Okay, go ahead and ask Leo.
Leo, can I help you? That would be great if someone helped me to build a tower.
Aram, can you show us what it looks like when a parent carries groceries? Oh, he's carrying the groceries, and there's so much to carry, and then it falls to the ground. Aiden, can you tell us, pretend that you are Aram's son, can you show us what does caring and kindness and compassion look like when you see that your dad needs help?
Help him pick it up.
Excellent.
I have the opportunity to visit all the classrooms in TK to 5th grade. I witness kindness every single day. Baldwin Stocker Bulldogs hope to make a mark in the world through their acts of kindness. And if you are in need of some of the ideas on how to be kind, here are some shared by our student leader, Dora.
Here are a few acts of kindness for you. Making some snacks, giving someone a compliment, donating anything, giving someone a gift, helping hang the clothes, helping wash the clothes, helping prepare meals, preparing snacks, organizing any room, help making the beds, help plant some plants, and help mop the floor. And these are just a few. Feel free to put them in your kindness jar if you want. Thank you. Bye.
At Baldwin Stocker, we choose to be kind. Thank you.
So moving on, I dare you not to be inspired by these next amazing In the Trenches presenters as they spotlight our commitment to imagination.
Welcome to TK, the best place to have fun all day. My name is Emily Vong, and I teach TK at Baldwin Stocker. During the month of December, we learned about holiday traditions around the world. Our goal was to help them understand that family traditions are important in bringing us all together. We made cool suitcases to hold all of our fun art activities. It also showed all the places we traveled. To spark our students' interest, we used our imagination to pretend that we're flying to all of these countries. The airplane ride was a hit. We pretended. Before we got on the plane, we would get into character by blowing kisses to our families and telling them we'll be right back. This was the best strategy to encourage engagement and excitement, even for those who have never been on a plane. They get to next slide. They get to experience what it's like to fly in a plane and see all the little houses from above. Every day they would ask with excitement, where are we flying to today? That was their favorite part. And they also loved snack time. They really enjoyed eating their snack while they watched the video about the country. It was very relaxing and enjoyable, like watching a movie. After our video or movie, we would do our art activity, and this was one of their favorite activities from Germany. They would love decorating a gingerbread house for their gingerbread boy or girl. It was so amazing to see how excited they were for candy paper decorations. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Winnie Zhang, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Baldwin Stocker. It's been a huge blessing coming back to my very own elementary school to teach alongside the most amazing teachers and administration. Scott, play video, please. Thank you. Distance learning has its fair share of challenges, especially with our little ones. When we first began our school year virtually, my main goal was to focus on keeping students engaged and excited about their learning. I wanted to provide a safe space where students could be imaginative and express themselves. I was noticing that the same few students were raising their hands to participate, and I wanted to encourage others to join in. One of the strategies I've come up with that has worked especially well is my bowl of Lucky Duckies. Not only has it encouraged more participation during class sessions and confidence in students, but it has also allowed us to build meaningful relationships and a strong classroom community. Students now come into class eager every session with stories and jokes to share. We also have Friday class playdates, and it fills me with joy hearing students' excited voices engaging in meaningful interactions with their peers. What started off as an imaginative engagement strategy has lended an opportunity to provide a safe space for students to be their unique selves. Lucky Duckies have helped students grow confident in their voices, and it has made our classroom a family. Thank you.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's march. Yeah. I don't know, but I've been told.
I don't know, but I've been told.
Tens are tall and ones are small.
Tens are tall and ones are small.
First you count up all the tens.
First you count up all the tens.
Then add the ones onto the end.
And add the ones to the end.
Tens are tall.
Tens are tall.
Ones are small.
Ones are small.
Tens are tall.
Tens are tall.
Ones are small.
Ones are small.
Woo! Good job, you guys.
Good evening. My name is Indambi Carr, and I'm new to the Arcadia School District, and I'm a part of the first grade team at Baldwin Stocker. I'm a believer that words can help visualize and enrich the learning experience, and that's what you saw in the video. Using song and using rhymes helps to tie it in their minds. Little people, all this helps with imagining. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Powell, and I teach second grade. And like my friend and colleague, Miss Carr, my class has also been rapping to learn math. So we learned a rhyme to help us remember when to regroup in subtraction, and what to do with all those tricky numbers that don't stay in their correct place value spots. So once my students had mastered our wrap and subtraction, I challenged them to teach it to someone in their family and post it on Flipgrid. I was totally not prepared for the amazingness that these kids and their families did. They blew me away. They exceeded every expectation. I wish I could show you all of them because they are seriously so cute, but I will just treat you to this one that I love. So if we could play that video.
You ready?
Yeah.
More on the top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. Numbers the same, zeros the game. That's a wrap.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I adore this video. This particular student is extremely shy, and we've been working all year just to get her to participate in class. So seeing her rope in her mom and her big brother to learn this was just so fun. And it was really cool through the experience to see how much these students have loved having their families be a part of their learning this year. And these memories have just been such a highlight in my class through a potentially difficult year. We've really found the silver lining through incorporating big siblings, little siblings, and parents.
Good evening. I'm Vanessa Monje, a third grade teacher at Baldwin Stocker. If you can play the video, please. Thank you. At Baldwin Stocker, space for imagination is explored and exercised through number routines. In this montage, you will see just a few moments of magic captured in my third grade classroom, along with my colleague Christy Oster's fourth grade classroom. Number routines are grounded in the mathematical practices and offer an amazing opportunity to give all students an entry point to math. The routines are designed to empower students. Students bring mathematical conversation to the routine by owning their thinking, using appropriate vocabulary, and celebrating all ideas shared. Number routines simply question mathematical thinkers by posing questions like, how can you make? Which one doesn't belong? Word problems, notice and wonder. How are these the same but different? 3 of these things, choral counting, would you rather, and so many more. What I've seen in my classroom is students challenging their own ideas to see what else they can come up with or what else they can notice. I've also seen students work together to explain an idea. Students are respectfully disagreeing with one another and providing reasons why, and others are agreeing and adding on to peers' ideas. One thing most educators can agree on is that, especially through distance learning, it can be difficult to engage all students in your classroom. I have a student who decided to not use his camera or microphone this entire school year, which made it difficult to see his thinking. At first, it was a challenge. Then I realized, let's find a way to make this work with him. Since then, these number routines have been the assignments he participates in most because he has been given the options to communicate through pictures, typed responses, and fortunately, through a video that I was able to capture on Padlet, which you will see here.
So what I did, I kept on adding 3 until I get 24, which then I separated each 3 from the other 3s, and then I don't get them like in each other, and then I counted the 3s, then I get 8.
This was the first and only time I have heard this student's voice, and it was because he was wanting to share his strategy of counting with his peers. All in all, these number routines provide students with empowerment and an environment where their voices and ideas are heard and explored.
So our Bulldogs never give up. Our determined ELD and intervention specialists will now speak to our commitment to determination, fostering it, celebrating it, honoring it.
Hi, I'm Erica Hecht, Baldwin Stocker's ELD teacher. The pictures you see in this slide represent the many determined parents who support our children as they learn English and gain technology skills. Remote learning has truly given new meaning to the term partners in education. Next slide. Our translators have been invaluable in helping us connect with families during remote learning. Teaching from home or school with portable dock cameras, multiple devices, or smart boards, we are determined that all students continue to receive a quality education. Next slide. This slide shows my dog dressed for school, something the kids get a kick out. I included it not only for humor, but also to point out that ironically, remote teaching has, in a sense, humanized the learning process. Although we have less control of our environment, it can be more intimate and in some cases an empathy builder as we enter into a student's home and they into ours. Next slide. The use of visuals is always important for teaching English learners, but even more critical during remote teaching. With the help of our librarian, Ms. Judson, who received help from our TK teacher, Ms. Vaughn, I learned how to use Wakelet, a visual platform for sharing content with my ELD classes. This is just one of the many examples of collaboration that goes on behind the scenes at Baldwin Stocker in our determination to guarantee student success. You will see the choice menus on the next few slides. Next slide. Here's our Living Books menu shared by our 5th grade teacher, Ms. Chang. This is our virtual field trips choice menu. And the last is our wellness menu, which I created in the spirit of UDL and the current times. The goal is to teach English through integrated curriculum while giving students options and a chance to use various modalities. This has been challenging during remote instruction. Next slide. Lessons have become more animated, as you can see from this writing prompt created by our ELD teacher, Mr. Twang of Holly Avenue. Next slide. Lessons are also now technically interactive, as shown in these slides taken from a few of my recent lessons. Next slide. Next slide. The picture at the left shows our ELD teacher, Miss Labella from Camino Grove, teaching yoga to the ELD teachers, although I clearly was not a good student because I was taking pictures. However, determined to teach the whole child, I've discovered that mini yoga lessons are a great way to engage ELD students while they follow instructions, develop language skills, and learn healthy habits. Next slide. As a result of the pandemic, healthy habits have become a topic of greater emphasis in ELD. Determinedly, we hope that in addition to acquiring language skills, our English learners will develop a strong sense of personal well-being, compassion for others, and an understanding of American traditions. Before we move on to the next slide, I just want to give you a bit of background. The student you will hear came to the US in March just before the shutdown with extremely limited English. With hard work and determination, he made great progress. And on the next slide, you'll be able to hear the growth he made in reading within a period of 4 months between September and January. Next slide.
The timeline shows events in the orders they happen. Timelines are read from left to right or from top to bottom. Let's make a timeline that we can read from left to right. Hey, I have an idea. Let's find the fastest ride in the park and start there, Salma said. Amir's smile grew as wide as a house. You're a genius, he said, but how do we know which one is the fastest? Let's ask at the information booth, Salma said. I see it over there.
I wanted to be sure to thank our district coach, Renee Costrella, for helping me with the audio on that slide. And I'd also like to thank you all so much for listening.
Hello, my name is Tim Ree, and I'm the academic performance coach. So Baldwin Stocker Bulldogs are known for determination. And referring to someone as a bulldog even means they are tough, tenacious, and get things done, especially in the face of adversity. Recently, life has had plenty of challenges for all of us. I wish I could say every day of virtual learning was like this next slide. But the reality is that many relate more to this next slide. With struggling students, it's taken a team effort to determine what's behind that black screen and develop an effective support plan for each individual. Next slide. So first, I wanted to highlight the determination in Baldwin Stocker's staff. Many unsung staff members have extended their responsibilities to provide student check-ins and extra support groups. I'm grateful for our staff and APC team that collaborates. The picture shows a hyperdoc where teachers shared helpful strategies with each other as we shifted to distance learning. We're also committed to delivering our research-based intervention programs and want to celebrate the determination of the students who are working in the face of adversity. Next slide. This first graph shows some of our first graders who are in our small groups. Their fall scores are in red and winter is in green. As you can see, these students who came with very basic skills are making progress to becoming proficient readers. Next slide, please. The next graph shows 3 students who participated in the Phonics for Reading group last year, but did not pass the level 1A phonics screening this fall. After hearing about the success of the Horizons program at Camino Grove, all the APCs were trained, and we were able to offer this additional support to these 3 students who ended up passing level 1A during the winter screening. Next slide, please. This last graph just shows data for a 4th grade student who is voluntarily working with me before school starts in the Reading Rewards group. In the winter, she not only attempted more word parts, but also increased her accuracy at the same time. Next slide, please. So virtual learning can be a completely different experience depending on who you speak to. Some adapt and some even thrive, while some struggle and disengage. Next slide. But Bulldog determination means Baldwin Stocker won't quit, and we will be resilient. Thank you.
In times of celebration and isolation, we believe everyone can be a service-oriented leader. Our encouraging leader and me coordinator, Mrs. Powell, and our caring school health aide, Miss Stephanie, will spotlight our commitment to the Baldwin Stocker community through service.
Our Student Lighthouse team this year is rooted in the idea of leadership as service. We have an amazing group of about 25 4th and 5th graders who went through an application process where they were asked, why do you want to be on Student Lighthouse team this year? The quotes you can see on this slide are from a few of their responses. They were really, really clear that showing kindness and bringing their student body together was a top priority. Dr. Brown, Mrs. Samblay, and I have been so inspired by these students' initiative, energy, and compassion. They have been passionate about doing whatever they can to help their fellow students navigate through this year. Our Lighthouse team is in the process of building 4 student-led action teams: art, music, crafts, and math. And these are like mini clubs that will meet after school for any student who wants to do activities together with their fellow Bulldogs. Next slide, please. It was also really important to our team to serve the community outside of our campus. And as you can see from this slide, from a Jamboard brainstorm session, they had so many great ideas for what they could do. One thing that they really wanted to do was to send cards to people in our community who might need encouragement. So actually right now, every student at Baldwin Stocker is creating a heart of kindness for the staff at Arcadia Methodist Hospital. And one of our Lighthouse team members built this cute little box. She painted it at home and brought it to school. It's currently right outside of our school office. And at the end of this week, it will be filled with hearts of kindness that will be delivered to Arcadia Methodist Hospital. Another project that our team came up with to serve our community is to create, this is so cute, you guys. They want to create a book of jokes, riddles on tongue twisters in case someone's sad and they need a smile. So our Lighthouse team will be ambassadors and encourage every student at Baldwin Stocker to think of a funny joke or riddle to include in the book so that we can get it printed and distribute it to anyone who needs a smile. Next slide, please. What has been really impressive about this team is that in the midst of a really different and potentially difficult year, these students have been able to look outside of themselves, have an attitude of gratitude, as Ms. Sambalay reminds us, and they have found tangible ways to serve not only their peers, but their entire school and community. This group of kids is a constant reminder of how resilient this generation is and how this year has given them an opportunity to see how they fit in the big picture of the world and what they can do to make it a better place.
Hi everyone, I am Stephanie Cook, Health Assistant at Baldwin Stocker. We are committed to having a healthy relationship with our students, parents, and staff. In the health office, we have reached out to some of our families to provide them with resources they may need during the pandemic to stay safe and healthy. At the beginning of the school year, our mountains were on fire, which made the air quality hazardous to breathe, especially for our asthmatic students. During this time, I contacted those families to provide comfort and any assistance that was needed. The health office has also helped with monitoring a COVID assessment form. This form keeps track of who is on campus and if anyone has reported an illness or a COVID exposure. Filling out this form is for the safety of everyone. Last but not least, to further aid in keeping our school community healthy, we have obtained a partnership with the Kenza Corporation, who provided us with free thermometers for our staff and students. These thermometers will be used for monitoring illnesses when used in conjunction with the Kenza app. Thank you and have a good evening.
And we certainly couldn't do any of this without our committed, supportive, and patient families. It's with huge pride I introduce to you Mrs. Kwan, our PTA president.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Just want to start off saying that it's been an honor being the president this year. It's been challenging, but I have such an amazing team, and we're able to provide events virtually to our students, and we're able to engage with our community as well in terms of fundraising as well. I'm actually showing you a slide, a comparable of our events from 2019 and 2020, just to give you an idea that we have not stopped, because we are committed to our students and our teachers and our staff. So I hope you enjoy the slide, and I'll make additional comments towards the end. So I just want to thank Dr. Brown. I mean, even though we did a lot of things virtually, she was happy to volunteer to be installed in having our live virtual magic show. In terms of our principal, she's gone way beyond her means in terms of making sure that the students feel inclusive, the teachers feel inclusive, and we are very proud of that. So thank you so much. And we thank our teachers and counselors and everyone for making such an impact on our students. And we look forward to be in person on campus with all of you very soon. Thank you so much, everyone.
And I want to take one last moment just to thank our leaders and partners named on this screen, our Bulldogs present here tonight, and equally so, our dedicated staff and families cheering us on and supporting us in their viewership tonight. Thank you all so very much for this opportunity.
What a presentation. Do any of the board members have questions or comments?
I wanted to just say thank you so much, Dr. Brown and your staff, for that wonderful presentation. What really struck me throughout the whole thing was I love the kids concept. I think it's obvious that, especially during this pandemic and this, unprecedented time, that not only was that kindness, imagination, determination, and service, that kind of, it seemed like it guided you even more, and all that extra work that you and your staff put in to make sure that your students were engaged and still learning is pretty amazing. And I really love the fact that even though it's virtual, that there was still an emphasis on student agency and, just making sure that every student was looked after in terms of how they learned, which is so difficult during this time. So I'm just amazed that your teachers are able to even, find the time to put those things together, because I know it takes so much time. So thank you so much. And also to all the teachers and staff that presented. You all did an amazing job.
I have a similar comments as Mrs. E. Thank you so much, Dr. Brown, your staff. Wow, that was awesome. That was amazing. What I really loved was seeing and hearing the enthusiasm in your presentation, and really how that translates to the classroom, right? Because especially for our younger kids, we have to keep them engaged, so that enthusiasm, I could see how it absolutely translates into that engagement, which of course translates into more learning. So that was so awesome to see from everybody. I do have a question on the summer bridge program. That seems like it was very successful. Is that something you think you're going to continue on even in our post-pandemic life? Hopefully that comes soon, but yeah, what do you think?
I think it was such a wonderful experience for the students and the staff alike. I would be more than willing to engage in that thinking and planning process again. And it was in collaboration with Karen Yunker too. So that was she kind of planted that seed. And then like Denise said, it just kind of took off from there with a lot of interest by staff. And they did it, voluntarily. And I couldn't have been more thrilled with their participation and the kids. So I'm always open to what's best for kids. And Denise or Evelyn, if you'd like to speak to that.
I know a lot of teachers were staying connected with their kids before summer bridge started in July. I know I was, and I know other teachers were, because the kids just wanted that connection. And so we kept that going. And then we got organized, and it folded over into summer bridge. And the teachers all worked together, we collaborated, came up with some great ideas. And when we met with Karen Yunker, she just helped that solidify. And it grew into this wonderful endeavor. And so I'm committed to continuing it, with the next summer that's coming up, because I think kids are still going to need that connection. Just coming out of we're still within the pandemic, and who knows when we're going to be back on campus together. But I think kids are going to be really craving that. And so we want to help them build their resiliency and their stamina and their connection, and instill some fun and joy. And that's what Summer Bridge is all about.
It is so evident that kids is at the heart of everything that you do. And thank you all for putting this together, because it takes a lot of time. I'm going to be singing Tens Are Tall and Ones Are Small for the next month. because it's those creative techniques that really grab kids. And it was so much fun to see the families engaged. And to me, the theme that's coming across is, and I think it's what people think disappears in distance learning and distance working, is collaboration. And you are sharing so much about how you're collaborating as a team when you're presenting your individual things. Oh, and I got help from so and so, or we picked this off from another school, or we put our minds together and came up with this. And then you're also sharing that about how your students are working together in the classroom. And you're sharing how that's working with Lighthouse Team. And so the fact that you just are living your values and what truly what you hold important, and you're doing it together and encouraging so much student involvement. And thank you to the PTA president for being here too, because that was the other piece that really stood out. And I think one of the teachers said it is, having your family as your learning partner has taken on such a new meaning this year when you get the family and the siblings engaged. And some kids need that support so much more than they would in a regular year. Forming those relationships is really, I think, going to stand you guys very well as even we get back on campus, because people feel included and that they're part of what's happening. And I know that this has been such a challenge, and you all have more than risen to meet it and to grow. So thank you.
I also wanted to add, I find the level of like participation and engagement from your students like absolutely incredible. Speaking as a high school senior, I'm in classes surrounded by students who will almost be adults, and we're being put to shame by the level of participation and like genuine engagement of these elementary schoolers that sometimes I wish was in my classes. So I just wanted to commend you all for your work in that.
Really happy to see Mr. Reed talk a little bit about some of the challenges. What challenges are you having that you would like us to know about as Board of Education members? What do we need to know that your next thing that you're trying to, or next things you're trying to tackle that we should know about that will help us in decision making in the future?
I'm happy to open this up. I think it's a reoccurring, it's an engagement piece, and I think it always will be an engagement piece. And it's that handful of students from one class to multiple classrooms who they're not on, their screens are black, and just trying to find ways to pull them out or find out what is keeping them from being allowed to participate fully in a way that we would hope for. And I know so many people could speak on this, so I'm going to let someone else if they'd like.
Yeah, if I can jump in, I think it's just taken a really a personal approach. You know, that black screen can mean a lot of things. So it's a lot of investigating work, and it's taken a lot of staff members jumping in and helping out and just doing that, you know, work to find out what is at the heart of what is happening here in this case. So it's taken more time, but it's really created more personal connections with families and looking beyond school and beyond the classroom.
And if I could just add one more thing, our teachers are so dedicated that it pains them not to be able to reach those kids, and they are literally just killing themselves trying, and to give them just that. We talk a lot about grace and space, and we talk about giving that to our kids, and we try to tell our staff members and our teachers, you know, that applies to you too. We're all in this. This is not just, this is everyone right now. And so it's just, there's nothing they won't do or try or be. And sometimes that's a lot of pressure.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us. You know, my fellow board members have shared my very same thoughts and reactions, but I just want to thank you for taking this personally and for being heroes. This is a heroic effort. You are not only meeting the challenge, you're thriving. You're doing the right things for kids, and it's deeply appreciated. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Fabulous presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for the time and the opportunity. Have a lovely rest of your evening.
I'd just like to acknowledge the
the work of Baldwin Stocker and the collaboration so evident within their staff. And also, if you listen closely, you heard about the collaboration beyond their site with other sites, and just the ability to do that in normal times isn't easy, but to do that in this environment a year later really resonates with our values that we are still living those. And to call your attention to one slide that Tim Ree showed about the data of student learning. And we hear a lot about learning loss, and definitely there will be issues when we get to come out of this in working with students. But we firmly believe the best way to deal with learning loss is to deal with it in real time and not wait till the pandemic's over, or not wait till we can get back to campus. And being able to maintain as many intervention processes, as many assessment processes to really identify kids who need help right now, and take extra steps to do that, I think will pay dividends when we are able to come out of this. And I'd just like to acknowledge the work of our staff in being so forward thinking and flexible in making sure that happens.
Baldwin Stocker was fantastic tonight. I had my Bulldog red on for the Bulldogs supporting Dr. Brown and company. That was just so good to hear. I was very impressed with just first starting with the presentation. Their Google slide or whatever platform they used was just remarkable. They had animations, GIFs, videos. They were narrating to videos they were playing. So that was just super impressive. Then to see the ways our teachers are engaging students. We heard from, parents are frustrated. We heard from a frustrated parent, and we understand that. Tim even alluded to he's helping a student before school. The other school spotlights with Camino and Dana, you kind of hear them. They're not advertising how much time they're putting in before and after school, but the effort they're going to is just remarkable. I love Miss Carr, Mrs. Powell using linguistics, the rhyme, the raps to engage their students. And the story of the shy student who didn't like to be on camera, but utilizing mom and her brother. And if you wouldn't have told me that student was shy, I would have never known in a million years. So love that story, using the dogs, all the visuals, just amazing. In one of our videos last year about the schools closed, hearts open, the theme was kind of, we used the quote, inspiration. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And just from tonight, our Baldwin Stocker teachers and staff, you can see they're learning how to dance in the rain, singing in the rain as well. So that was just very impressive to see.
I want to start off with a big shout out to Dr. Brown and the Baldwin Stocker staff. I'd like to thank them for including me in their dress rehearsal yesterday. I don't think I exaggerated in the call earlier today when I shared with you that you were in for a treat. Their passion and excitement on that call yesterday had me excited for the day-to-day and for their presentation tonight. Just amazing, some of the things they shared during that call, and very, very exciting.
I do miss our board visits, but Baldwin Stocker's presentation was outstanding, and they're doing great things. And it gives me confidence that, after now 3 presentations from our schools, that things are going well as they can be on the other 8 campuses. We feel confident and good about that.
Just want to echo again, great job to the Baldwin Stocker staff. Just always wonderful to see what you're doing and all the innovations. And I too miss going on those boardwalks. Is there something about walking through the schools with the teachers, seeing the students and everything in action? But the virtual presentations have been just beyond what I would expect. So congratulations to all the schools who've presented so far.
Thank you to Baldwin Stocker. Their presentation was so cute and so engaging, especially with all the videos of like the little kids interacting with their peers and with the teacher. Was definitely super fun to watch.
Baldwin Stocker, you can tell. I mean, I love that they have the kids as their theme, and kindness does seem to really dominate and run through so much of what they do. But I really appreciated hearing from everyone, and it was a spectacular presentation. just about everything that's happening and the innovating and collaborating being done and the inclusion of families with the kids. It's a testament to their hard work.
Everything's been said about Baldwin Stocker. It's what a fabulous presentation. So proud of all of their work, creativity, the collaboration. It's easy to pass by our values that we've placed all over the district, and especially large on the wall in district office, and forget that we emerged those values. We didn't sit in a room and say, what do we aspire to? It was, no, who are we? What are the values that we hold true and dear every day? And so their presentation, all I could think of was just watching them live out our values every day, and just doing it with that passion that came out tonight in the presentation. So fabulous.